I'd like to start today by first thanking all of you for coming out today. Today we're mourning a terrible event that happened in Pittsburgh a week ago, and it happened for one reason and one reason only: baseless hatred. The person who went into that synagogue didn't care if he was going to kill an Orthodox Jew, a conservative Jew, or a Reformed Jew. He just wanted to kill Jews. And the hatred that exists in our country is alive and it's strong. And all of us coming here together today, we're hopefully showing unity, a unification between Christians and Jews and Muslims, between gays and straights and blacks and whites makes no difference. And the fact that we're all here in solidarity should show a message to the world at large. But before we start, we should start by reading the names of those who were slaughtered this past Saturday. So Julia will read the names of the 11 victims.
Joyce Feinberg, Richard Gottfried, Rose Mallinger, Jerry Rubinowitz, Cecil Rosenthal, David Rosenthal, Bernice Simon, Sylvan Simon, Daniel Stein, Melvin Wax, Irving Younger.
Being part of the Jewish community, which is what we are, Hillel on campus, Hillel 818. We're here for the Jewish community, but we're here for everybody at large. Everybody on this campus, we're one. Julia just read the names of the 11 victims from this past Shabbat, this past Saturday. And somebody else from Hillel, Paulette, is going to read something for all of us to take in.
This is a prayer by Chaim Stern titled, "When Evil Darkens Our World." When evil darkens our world, let us be the bearers of light. When fists are clenched in self-righteous rage, let our hands be open for the sake of peace. When injustice slams doors on the ill, the poor, the old, and the stranger, let us pry the doors open. Where shelter is lacking, let us be builders. Where food and clothing are needed, let us be providers. Where knowledge is denied, let us be champions of learning. When dissent is stifled, let our voices speak truth to power. When the earth and its creatures are threatened, let us be their guardians. When bias, greed, and bigotry erode our country's values, let us proclaim liberty throughout the land. In the places where no one acts like a human being, let us bring courage, let us bring compassion, let us bring humanity.
Thank you, Paulette. There's an unbelievable poem which was written by Zev Steinberg. I'm going to read that poem for us. Not only did that person who went into the synagogue this past Shabbat go into a conservative shul with older people, there was also a Brit Milah, a circumcision, the entry of the covenant that was happening for an 8-day boy. And that was interrupted because of what happened. And this person wrote this poem to the boy whose circumcision was to take place that Saturday. What's your name? Dedicated to the baby who is to be named at the Tree of Life Synagogue on Shabbat morning, October 27th, 2018. Little boy, what's your name? Do you have one? Sweet baby, just 8 days. What should we call you? I've heard the sacred circumcision postponed for jaundice cielo, but never before for bloodshed red. Is your name Shalom? We long for peace in this troubled world. I hope you are Shalom. Is your name Nachum? Oh, how we need to be comforted in our grief. I hope you are Nachum. Is your name Raphael? Our broken hearts and bleeding souls need healing. I hope you are Raphael. You should have been carried high into the congregation on Shabbat morning, passed from loving hands to loving hands on a cushioned pillow to receive your Jewish name. Instead, your elders fell and were carried out on stretchers and plastic bags, their names on tags. Is your name Moshe? Our unbearable anguish and rage demands justice. I hope you are Moshe. Is your name Ariel? We need the ferocious strength of lions to protect our people. I hope you are Ariel. Is your name Barak? We need courageous warriors to vanquish our enemies. I hope you are Barak. The blood on Shabbat morning was supposed to be covenantal, not sacrilegious, sacramental, not sacrificial, sacred, not unholy. The tears were to be of boundless joy, not bottomless sorrow. The cries were to be Mazel Tov, not the mourner's Kaddish. Is your name Simcha? We need an end to sadness by bringing joy into our world. I hope you are Simcha. Is your name Yaron? We need an end to mourning by bringing song into our lives. I hope you are Yaron. Is your name Matan? We need the gift of children who will bring a better tomorrow. I hope you are Matan. So, little boy, what's your name? Take them all if you will. Take 1,000 names. Be peace and comfort and healing. Be justice and strength and courage. Be joy and song and a gift to the world. Be every good name and every good thing. And sweet baby, take one more name if you will. Because I hope you will be blessed with a long, blissful, beautiful, and meaningful life. I hope you are Chaim. Again, we're all standing here, and I'm talking to you as a man. Not a white man, not a black man, not a gay man, not a straight man, not a Jew, not a Christian, not a Muslim, not an atheist. As a man on the human level. And when darkness comes through, when you're driving on the freeway at night and somebody turns the light on in the back of the car, you say, turn the light off, it's blinding me. How's it blinding you? There's more light. Sometimes light can make things darker, more difficult to see through. Light shines through in the darkest of times. And right now, we feel we're at rock bottom. And rock bottom is a great foundation on which to build. Now is the time where we can come together as a community. Every person, everybody here, to shine through with our love for everybody, no matter what they are. And the purpose of this vigil is, yes, to mourn those who we lost, but to look forward. When you drive, you look through the glass in front of you, and you have a rear view mirror. You should look behind you, but you spend more time looking forward. Right now, we're going to look forward and try to build together as a community, as one on the human level. I'd like to invite David Katz, the director of our Hillel, who has a very personal relationship with the Pittsburgh community, to speak.
So, thank you, Brian. My name's David Katz. I'm the director of Hillel 818, and I wanted to share a few words because I moved to Los Angeles in 2015, but for 10 years prior to that, I called Pittsburgh home. And every day as I drove from my apartment to the Hillel at the University of Pittsburgh in Carnegie Mellon, I drove past Tree of Life Synagogue. And I davened down the street. I went to prayer services down the street from Tree of Life on a regular basis, and I know the community very well. I just wanted to share a few words because we see everything. We remember the names of the victims, and we see everything that we see on CNN. But to contextualize this a little bit for all of you, the Squirrel Hill neighborhood in Pittsburgh is very similar to North Hollywood or to Pico Robertson. It's a small community with over a dozen synagogues and thousands of Jewish households really living within walking distance of one another. The people that were murdered on Shabbat are members of the community, and it's important that we remember them, but it's also important for us to take a moment and think about the greater impact that this has had on the neighborhood of Squirrel Hill. So what you're watching on CNN about the victims, it doesn't include the fact that yesterday the local elementary school, which is 30% Jewish, was on lockdown. And the kids who this past weekend had to cancel their plans Saturday morning because the parents were told not to let each other out of their homes, had to go through another trauma. And when I look at my friends' Facebook feeds talking about how their kids don't want to go to school, don't want to leave the house, don't want to go to synagogues, this trauma is going to stick with this community for a very long time. And for us as really Pittsburghers living in Los Angeles, the outpouring of support from all of these vigils across the country is incredibly meaningful. And I was speaking to a friend of mine last night who lives in Pittsburgh who just said that the community, they can't believe it. They can't believe that people in Los Angeles and around the world are thinking about them, are caring about them, are sending money to support the synagogue, to support the Jewish community, because ultimately our news cycle is going to move on to the next tragedy and to the next big thing. But the trauma that took place this past weekend is going to stay with that community for a very long time. And I thank you for helping us and for helping them to heal. And I really feel that today we're all part of the Pittsburgh community. So thank you for coming out. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for coming together as our community here in Los Angeles. And the truth is, as Rabbi Brian shared, we're stronger together, and we need to do our best to bring more light into this world. It needs it now more than ever, and we just wish that the 11 people that we lost this past week, that their memory will be a blessing for all of us. So thank you.
Hi, I'm Marcia Boni. I'm on the faculty here, and I'm the advisor for Hillel, and it's been my great honor and pleasure to be such an advisor. I just want to read to all of you something that all the faculty got, and perhaps the others. It's from the Chancellor, Rodriguez, and from Mike Fong, who is president of the Board of Trustees, and this came out Tuesday. I will shorten it quite a bit, but on October 27, 2018, during Shabbat services, a white supremacist entered the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, murdering 11 innocent people, the deadliest attack on Jews in U.S. history. As innocent victims are laid to rest, our collective thoughts and prayers are those impacted by this senseless tragedy. Our LACD family stands firmly with them and the Jewish community during this difficult time. Our college flags will fly at half-mast through Wednesday at sunset to remember the victims and the families. And then he goes on, let us take this time to reaffirm and practice our institutional values of diversity, inclusivity, and civility at LACCD. And there will be a resolution made at the next Board of Trustees meeting to underscore our humanistic values as an academic community and denounce all forms of violence, racism, sexism, discrimination, homophobia, and other forms of bigotry fueled by hate, extremism, and terrorism. And we want to make the college a safe environment for all those free from discrimination, bullying, harassment, and fear. I was very touched personally by this, that the Chancellor came out with such a statement and was showing a solidarity, a visual solidarity that could be seen in all the campuses. So I wish to thank you.
We're going to finish by saying the traditional memorial prayer that we say as a Jewish community. This isn't just for the 11 victims who were just killed this past Saturday. It's for anybody who was killed out of baseless hatred. That's what today's about. El male rachamim shochen bamromim hamitzeh menucha nechona al kanfei hashchina b'matlos kedoshim utahorim kizohar harakia mazhirim es nishmas all the souls that were lost in Pittsburgh. Shehalach la'olamo ba'avor she'anachnu mispalalim ba'ad haskarat nishmato began eden tehe menuchato lachen ba'al harachmim yastirehu b'seser knapav la'olamim Vayitzor bitzor hachaim es nishmaso Adonai hu nachlaso v'yanuch b'shalom al mishkavo v'nomar amen. God, full of compassion, who dwells on high, grant proper repose on the sheltering wings of your presence, in the lofty levels of the holy and pure, who shine as the brightness of the firmament, unto the soul of all those who were taken from us in Pittsburgh and everywhere else based off baseless hatred. May their repose be in paradise. May the Master of Compassion bring them under the cover of God's wings and bind their souls in the bond of life. May the Lord be their heritage, and may their repose on his resting place in peace. And let us all respond, Amen. Amen. Thank you, all of you, for coming here to show solidarity and unity. And if you'd like to spend some extra time afterwards, we'll be here to talk and hopefully decompress and try to figure out a way maybe in which we can move forward as a community. Thank you again so much for being here.
What would be your message to students all over the world?
Part of terrorism is not only to attack the Jewish people in this case, but it's also to instill a sense of fear. I think that people, Jews across the world, should make an effort to go to synagogue this Shabbat. Go to a Reform, go to a conservative, go to an Orthodox shul. If you're a Christian and you haven't been to church in a long time, go to a church. Show these people that they can't win. If you're a Muslim, go to your mosque. We need to show these people that they don't win, they don't control us.
I said, let's try to organize some kind of memorial here today. Tragically, it's within the realm of of innocent people being killed by hatred this year, it's really not a big number, but within the realm of history in the United States, which has had its anti-Semitism in the past, let's not kid it, this was the most horrific act, and it's tragic that it's happening in this time as a Jew and as an American Jew.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
We all
reading the
feel.
names so eloquently.